Hello everybody, this is Toshi the Panda back at it again with something new for my channel. I'm going to be doing my very first fanfiction reading. This is an idea I've been playing around with for a while because I've done comic dubs on my channel, but I've never done readings of fanfics. So this will be a fun new thing to try out. This fanfic I'm going to read to you all is actually one I've written myself, so it'll be a good first start out for my channel. Not to mention, I can get feedback on you guys for this story I wrote. I'll leave a link to the actual story in the description so you can go read it yourselves if you feel like reading it on your own instead of listening to my story. But anyway, I bring to you all Tolerance Level, an amazing digital circus fanfic reading. Jax walked about inside the circus tent one afternoon. Kane hadn't come up with any new adventures, so the day was rather slow and quiet. Unfortunately for Jax, that also meant it was a very boring day and he had nothing to do. He walked around the tent looking for something to entertain himself. That's when Jax spotted Gangle. She was sitting by the stage and appeared to be reading a book. Seeing an opportunity to entertain himself, Jax snuck over behind her. Gangle seemed very engrossed in her book that she didn't notice him, so Jax was able to reach his arm over and snatch it from her ribbon hands. Gangle let out a startled shriek before looking around in confusion. "Sup, ribbons?" Gangle looked behind her and sighed in exasperation when she saw Jax.
Jax, what do you want now? Are you here to break my comedy mask again?" she said.
"Nah, not today, Ribbons. Just feeling bored and wanted to see what you're up to. By the way, what you reading here? Didn't take you for a bookworm," said Jax. He then looked at the book's cover and saw that it read Hypnosis for Beginners. Now Jax was very intrigued. Hypnosis? Huh. Didn't take you for interested in that mumble jumble stuff, he said as he gave the book back to Gangle.
"Well, I decided to take up a hobby so I'd have something to do in between Kane's adventures. I found this book in one of the prop closets and got interested. It's a pretty big and long book, so I've been reading it for several days now. I think it's cool to learn something new," said Gangle. Jax sat on the ground next to Gangle, reclining comfortably as he watched her open the book to continue reading. "So, you're trying to learn a new trick? Whatever. So, hypnosis. What, can you turn people into obedient zombies or something?" he said. Gangle shook her head. "Nope, only dumb them down a little. Hypnosis is actually more complicated and psychological than what you'd see in magic shows. It's actually hard to do."
"Oh, try it on me. I want to be a zombie," Jax said, cutting Gangle off. She looked at him like he was weird.
I'm still learning, Jax. Plus, I don't know if it'll work or not," she replied.
Jax sat upright with a cool expression on his face. "Well, therefore, test it out on me. Come on, never been hypnotized. Plus, I'm super bored and want something to do," he suggested.
"Well, okay. I guess this'll be a good opportunity to try out what I've learned so far. All right, I'll do it," said Gangle.
"Sweet, lay it on me, Ribbons," said Jax. Gangle rubbed her face for a moment.
"Give me a minute, I've got to visualize a pattern," she said.
Jax raised an eyebrow. "Pattern? Don't you just say some fancy magic words or—"
"Shush, I need to focus,"
Gangle said, cutting Jax off. "Okay, sheesh," Jax said, rolling his eyes. He then sat up straight as Gangle finally stopped rubbing her face. She then opened her eyes as they began to glow a soft pink color, with little dark pink rings swirling around. A low reverberating noise could be heard as she stared straight at Jax. "Whoa, cool," Jax muttered.
"Now don't look away. Stare at me,"
said Gangle in a low, echoey voice. "Okay," muttered Jax.
"Stay,"
said Gangle. Jax stared at her for a moment before he suddenly started chuckling. Gangle gave him a small glare.
"Oh, come on, you're gonna make me force it?" she whined.
Jax stopped laughing and stared into her eyes. No, I'm sorry. I won't fight it," he slurred. It seemed as though Gangle's hypnotic influence was beginning to take effect on him. His eyelids felt heavy and his head was swimming. He began swaying where he sat as he stared into Gangle's eyes.
"Stare at me,"
Gangle commanded. "Fine," Jax muttered. He swayed some more before suddenly falling forward. Gangle saw this and caught him with a pillow she seemingly pulled out of nowhere. "Gotcha," she said. Jax landed head and torso first onto the pillow with a soft thud and a soft giggle. He then looked up and continued to stare into Gangle's eyes. "Heh, so pretty," he mumbled. Gangle looked down at him.
"Does it work? How do you feel, Jax?" she asked.
Jax could barely keep his eyes open as his eyelids were slowly blinking one after the other. "Feels funny," he slurred. Then his eyes closed completely.
Jax?
Asked Gangle. She tapped him on the shoulder, feeling concerned for his well-being. Jax then let out a soft snore, indicated that he had fallen deeply asleep. Gangle rubbed her face as her eyes went back to normal.
Huh, I guess it did work after all. Which means...
She trailed off as she sat down next to Jax. She made herself comfortable on the floor as she picked up her book.
I get 5 minutes of peace, finally,
said Gangle as she continued reading. As she did, she occasionally glanced at Jax, who continued to lay on the pillow fast asleep. He snored softly and even started drooling a little. Gangle chuckled a bit as she looked at him.
I should do this more often. You're much more tolerable like this, Jax,
she said. She was actually feeling like she had a little more power over Jax, which made her feel better about him constantly trying to bully her by picking on her or taking and or breaking her comedy mask. At that moment, Gangle felt like things at the circus would be a lot more tolerable from now on. Just then, Zubul entered the main room of the tent and walked up to Gangle. Hey there, Ragatha wanted me to see where you were because she's worried. Zubul trailed off when they noticed Jax passed out asleep on the pillow on the floor beside Gangle. What the hell happened to him? Did he find a way to get drunk without Kane noticing? They asked. Gangle smiled as she held up the hypnotism book. Zubul's eyes widened a bit in surprise at the sight of the book. She then pulled it down and smiled deviously at Zubul.
Wanna learn too?
She asked. Zubul looked back and forth between Gangle and the unconscious Jax before they got a mischievous glint in their mismatched eyes. Hell yeah, said Zubul as they plopped down on the floor next to Gangle. She smiled as she flipped open the book to the first page so she and Zubul could read together. Hey, we should totally get Ragatha and Pomni in on this too, suggested Zubul. Gangle nodded in agreement.
Sure, but one at a time. I can't teach all three of you at the same time, so I'll start with you, and then I'll teach Ragatha, and after that, I'll teach Pomni,
she said. Zubul nodded. Understood, kiddo. I cannot wait to make Bunny Boy cluck like a chicken after this, they said deviously. The two friends continued to read the book about hypnotism, giggling to themselves about all the fun they were gonna have with Jax. All the while, Jax laid asleep on the floor, blissfully unaware that the two biggest victims of his constant bullying were scheming against him. He just slept peacefully, unaware of the hell that awaited him. So that was my first fanfiction reading. I say it went pretty well. I wonder what you guys will think of this story. Let me know in the comments. Until then, this is Toshi the Panda signing out once again. Have a nice day and don't forget to wash your hands.